Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to the Sikh Youth Show, and today we've got a really important show for you guys today regarding some of the seva that the Sikh Youth UK team have been doing behind the scenes, that sometimes you guys won't be able to capture or picture what goes on behind the scenes. So we brought in a couple of guests for you. These guests are great sevadars of the team who help do seva behind the scenes, but you know, they wanted to get the message out there for you guys and to help us to show you what some of the stuff that our team have to go through and do behind the scenes. So you know, the work that they do is tremendous, and from our team and all the project, without sevadars like these guys, families like these who support those victims of sexual grooming, who house them, let them stay with them, let them express their feelings and talk to them, let them victims express themselves and get out of that really horrific environment they're in into another area, another location where they can get that sangat, that support, that a bit more positive environment around them, that is a bit more understanding. You know, we need to show you what goes on, and you know, I'm going to introduce the panel and let them tell you themselves what goes on. So first of all, I want to introduce Benji and Baji for coming on the show. I want to thank you so much for coming on, you know, putting yourselves on the forefront and letting the Sangat and the viewers out there know what goes on behind the scenes at Sikh Youth UK. Because a lot of people don't know what goes on and how difficult it is to get great sevadars like yourselves who help us. So first of all, welcome to the show. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. First of all, just introduce yourselves, guys, and let the Sangat out there and the viewers know what you guys do for the team behind the scenes.
First, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Behind the scenes, the work that we do is basically offering a safe home to the victims of grooming, and it's really horrific, some of the stuff, but we will go into that in detail. But generally, it's providing a safe place, a place where there's a lot of pyar and there's a lot of Sangat, and just basically trying to rehabilitate the individual back into society and trying to get out the message to them that there is people there that will support them. I mean, with Sikh Youth, the support that they provide these girls, it's immense and it's immeasurable. We can't put a measure on it, and what we really need is more people to help and to volunteer, and like I said, behind the scenes it is quite testing.
Benji, just introduce yourself and let the viewers and the Sangat know what you guys do.
Yes, so my name's Navpreet Kaur, so my husband Bhavandeep Singh, and we basically were in a situation where somebody needed help, and we were happy to offer that assistance.
It's really important for sevadars like yourself to come forward, and you know, obviously we are overloaded with cases, and as you know, we've spoke about some of the cases. Having young girls in your house or a young girl, how has the experience been for yourselves?
It's been, I'd say it's been quite a difficult time. You know, it's been really, really nice to have somebody else in our house. We kind of see her like a younger sister, and it's been quite difficult to see how people can have such an impact on our girls. It's difficult to see that.
Definitely.
Yeah. Picking up on that, I think I'd say, like Navpreet said, it has been really difficult for us, somebody coming into the house. It is hard. But the one thing I would say is as well, we've taken somebody in, even though it has been really hard, it's been really challenging.
Yes.
But the plus points outnumber that by 1,000,000 to 1. Just having somebody in the house, understanding what they've been through, talking to them, feeling what they've felt, what they've told us, it hurts. But at the same time, when we've got that young person sat there telling us that, and she's smiling sometimes, that to us shows that, you know, what we are doing is positive. It's having a positive impact on the person, and it's really important that they have this sangat because of what they've gone through. A lot of people, I think, don't understand the severity of it. And it wasn't until we had this individual with us that we truly understood how severe this really is. And it's really opened my eyes. And even now with Baji here, doing this as well, for us, it wasn't so much a case of wanting to do this, it is that we had to do it. We had to get this message out there, because we personally feel, talking amongst ourselves, that this message isn't out there enough. And when you've got that person sat there, you actually see these are our sisters, these are our daughters that are actually being affected by this, and we can't sit back anymore, and I can't sit back. Before, looking on TV, we'd see Paji on TV, we'd hear about these cases, and you don't think anything of it. But the minute you let one of these people into your house, it all changes, and then from then on, there's nothing on your mind other than helping this person get through this. And I think that's the main thing for us. I mean, the goal is now to help the person, to help the individual, regardless of, like Navpreet was saying, it's really challenging. Mentally, it's draining. Hearing the stories, hearing what she's been through from such a young age, it drains you mentally, and it's 24/7. It's not a case of switch off. You can't do that. You have to be there. You have to sit with them. You have to talk to them. And if there's nobody to do that, then what can be said? There's nothing more that can be said on that.
Sahal Sangarji, you've heard how important the mentoring process of this program is. What our Sevadars do, remember, we do prevent, we do intervene and rehabilitation, along with support, mentoring programs like this, where the households and the environment are really important, and couples like this, who understand the issue. Understanding the issue is one thing, not turning a blind eye to it. Yeah, some people could be dismissive, where it goes in one ear out the other, and we could blame the victim. This is what we've done as a community for years. Yeah, we blame the victim or we blame the parents. I've heard that a lot. It's neither's fault. Who it is and who the issue is the perpetrators. But supporting and counselling and mentoring those who are going through it is so important, and having the right people doing it, like Benji and Baji, is the key thing, because they understand the issue, because they interlink with our organisation, and they understand the organisation's perspective of what we do and what angle we want the victim to get support on. There is in the system, within social services, within foster care, there is a very grey area, and it has been manipulated. And this government can't cover that up. Look, we saw the reports of Rotherham, we saw them of Rochdale. It has been horrendous. But for 40 years nearly, our community have been saying this, and we haven't had couples like yourself come forward and speak about it. Speak about what you've heard. So obviously sometimes interviews are difficult, and obviously sometimes they're nerve-wracking and whatnot. Don't worry about that. I want you guys just to tell the Sangat out there, or just talk to me, in fact, easier, and say some of the worst things that you've heard while helping victims of sexual grooming.
So I'd say probably one of the worst things for me was when she had mentioned that they'd taken her to different parts of the UK. And this wasn't in the evening. She wasn't allowed to go out in the evenings. This is during the day, so she'd take a day of college and, go to different parts, like including Luton, places like that. Yeah. I think that was one of the things.
I think for me personally, it was just hearing from such a young age, from the age of 11, how she was groomed, and then from the age of 12, 13, how she was abused and raped by several men at a time. For me, on the inside, that just killed a part of me, and to me it was a big letdown on our community, if I'm totally honest. This issue's been going on for so long, and it's not been addressed properly. It's not been addressed by the authorities as well. And I think what Baji Honey doing is immense seva, and what we're doing, I wouldn't class it as seva for the simple reason our Gurujis have taught us to do this anyway, so we can't class this as seva. So for me, this is not seva, this is our duty. We've been blind to that, but when I heard these stories, it was like a piece of me had been taken away, and every day when we hear something, it's really, really difficult. But you have to learn to suck it up in a way, because you can't show any. You've got to be positive all the way through, no matter what's being thrown at you. You've got to be positive all the way through it. And some of these stories, it's absolutely horrific. It's absolutely horrific. And just mentioning that one, another one's just coming to my mind as well now, where there's an instance where if she wouldn't do what they were telling her to do, they would hot like a little iron bar. So this was going on at restaurants. So they've got things there that, you know, that can be used as, you know, tools to hurt people. So they'd hot like iron, spoons and things like that, and they'd press it on her skin just because she'd be saying no. And to me, you know, doing that to a 13, 14-year-old, I mean, you know, there's no humanity. You know, it's shocking. And I didn't realize this until we have this person living with us, that this goes on. You know, your ears are closed, you don't think it happens, but when you hear it from the person themselves, it's totally different. It affects you, and it cannot not affect you.
Of course it does. It affects everyone psychologically. Like, it's not just as an organisation you try to support the victim. You have to get the family to understand. Yeah. The support workers like yourselves who are involved and helping, you're doing immense, great seva, and no matter how you try to water that down, it is fantastic. And from our whole team, we appreciate what you do for us, because we know you don't say no, and we try and support as much as we can. But you guys are mentoring day to day without realising it, just by housing someone. And this is what the viewers, we wanted the couple to come on for, because we want more sevas like this to join our team. This is why it's so important that the right people who understand this come and volunteer. You know, we need you out there supporting young vulnerable girls from the Sikh community who have been targeted and been through this. It's been going on for 40 years, and we need this to stop. What we need is a support structure and system in place from the Sikh community, from the Panth, from the Sangat, so we have no issues when stuff like this happens. We can straight away know where to put someone, what to do. We are getting overloaded with cases. Again, I'm going to keep saying this, we need your support out there. I want to go back to the couple, Baji and Benji. Obviously, we've heard a few things. You know, hearing people speak about these issues, obviously we've heard them in cases, Rotherham, Oxford, a lot of stuff was used, you know, similarities, what goes on. Behind the scenes, these gangs are horrific. You know, they're very systematic. The people who target the Sikh girls are very strategic in what they do, how they say things, how they threaten the families. You know, obviously we usually keep couples' identities hidden, but you guys have done an immense favor by coming forward and saying you want to help, obviously because you want other people to do the same seva. And so just let the Sangat know what sort of things that you guys have been doing and why it's important others do the same as you.
I think a lot of the stuff that we've been doing is basic Sikhi, basically. There's nothing intense, there's nothing too hard working, too taxing. It's just basic Sikhi. It's just spending time with the person, it's letting them know that we're there, listening to them. I think that's the big thing. And then at the same time, like Paddy was saying, how they work these gangs. I mean, we've had a bit of an insight now because we've had this person staying with us. The way they get into your head I think it's a very, very big web, and it's very hard for that individual to get out of that web. And it takes a lot of time and a lot of positivity and instilling into that person that they are not worthless, that they have a worth, because that's what they take away from you. They put no value on that person. So it's building that back up again and using Sikhi. I mean, we generally try and do part in the mornings. We have a dog as well, so we go for a walk in the mornings. In the evenings, we'll try and do a bit of Simran as well. So it's just trying to incorporate that bit of Sikhi back into that person's life and just getting them to kind of have a bit more of a connection with Vaheguru as well. So it's just little things, and we've got a 3-year-old boy as well, so just having him there helps that person as well, and he enjoys the company as well, so it kind of works both ways. I mean, for people, I would say, who are hesitating whether or not to do this, there should be no hesitation. It's as simple as that. There should be no hesitation. These are our sisters, these are our daughters. They're not being helped by anybody else. We need to step up. We need to be the people that help these people, because nobody else is going to. And if we don't help them, you know, in 10, 20, 30 years' time, there's going to be thousands and thousands of our girls that this is happening to, and there'll be no Sikhi left. It's as simple as that. I can see that now. That's why, for me, being sat here, it's the most important thing to get this message out there. For me, it's as simple as that, to be honest.
Benji?
I think for us it was also, it was keeping positive and, you know, doing Vaheguru, doing Simran, but also having a bit of normality, just a bit of a normal routine, you know, waking up early, going to sleep at a reasonable time, you know, going out for walks, just going to shopping, you know, just getting her into just a normal routine amongst, you know, just normal people. Like we live with our in-laws as well, and I just think it's been really positive for her to see that, you know, we're here to listen, and you know, the fact that she can take her time, and none of us are going to judge her at all, because it's in no way her fault, and it's reinforcing that the fact that she's not the person to blame. It's these groomers that are
how
all
important is that non-judgmental environment?
It's so important. It is so important, because, you know, she's come into our house, and, you know, we're trying to put her at ease, and we obviously want her to feel comfortable and to trust us as well.
Of course, trust is massive.
Trust, yes, and we're not here to judge at all, and it's just reinforcing the fact that she does have value, a lot of value, and it's increasing her confidence and listening.
I think on that note as well, because we live with my parents as well, and obviously they're from an older generation, but they totally get this. I think having that individual there, they understand this, and now they're happy actually speaking about it. Whereas I think that older generation would generally quite quiet, keep it hush hush. But you know, with us, the younger generation coming through, if we can keep on pressing it and pressing it, it does make a difference. And they're quite open about it now, so it's helped them, and hopefully they can kind of help other people as well, and let the older generation know as well on that.
Of course, obviously, speaking to victims and listening to this, we do this day and night, and you know what goes on behind the scenes. I've spoke to you on a few occasions, many occasions, and we even sat and trying to get young Sikh girls to get convictions out of this. How difficult is that?
I think it's probably the most difficult thing out of everything. It's building them up to that point, and I think that's not a thing that can happen in a short period of time. I think what they need to know is if one or two girls start doing it, then they know they've got the support. At the minute, I would say the support's been very, very low.
Because I believe, and what I've witnessed over the years is we've been failed as a community by the services, by the authorities in charge, and not only them, by our own community. We have been let down majorly, and the only way this is going to go forward is with an official process, a program in place like we're doing, but to another level. And this is where we need the Sangha support and Sevadars like yourselves who keep doing this day to day. Any last thoughts before we end the show, Baji and Benji?
I'd just like to say that I wasn't really aware of how common these issues like grooming were. You know, I watched Misuse Trust, but I wasn't aware of the extent that it's happening, and I think it's opened my eyes, and it's made me realise that it's happening a lot and it's real. And we all need to help out, we all need to step up, we all need to pick up our game.
Thank you, Benji. Baji, any last thoughts for the viewers?
I think I would just, what Navpreet said as well, I think I'd just reiterate that until you get involved, until people actually do some seva, until you start asking questions, nothing is going to happen, and you won't know how bad the situation is. It's not until we've been involved with this directly that we understand what's going on, how common it is, and how scary it is, and we can't even begin to imagine how scary it is for the victims. They need that support, and that support comes from the Sangat, and at the minute we're failing. So I think the main thing is step up the game, and let's sort ourselves out as a punt and help these girls move forward.
It's really important. I want to thank you both for coming on and speaking and showing the Sangat what goes on behind the scenes, because it's really important that they know that. This is a humble binti. We want more Sevadars like this great couple who do immense seva behind the scenes. How immense and fantastic is it that these couples, understanding what's going on, being supportive, you know, being proactive by letting people come into their safe environment and speaking and showing, expressing themselves. Listening is so important. Understanding and building that trust so we can support young girls into a more positive way of life. From all that gund, all those issues that they've been through, all that horrific abuse that they've suffered. And believe me, there's been some horrific cases here that we've took on as an organisation that would be on another level, which people wouldn't be turning saying, like parents and families, you know, it affects them so much mentally, physically, psychologically. It's unreal, you know, what families have to go for. But what do the victims have to go for? Knowing that they can't turn to no one's even worse. So having that welcoming feeling via couples like this is really important. You know, we need your support, the Sangat out there. Anyone who wants to do Seva for our project or our team, please come forward. We have so many roles and places for you to fit in and do this. So it's a humble binti from our organisation, from our project. Please get involved. You know, there's so much to do, yeah? So, you know, just don't sit around and waste time. Be proactive. It's really important that we are proactive in life. Help make a difference in the community. That's the key thing here. So I want to thank you all for watching today's show. I want to thank Benji and Baji for coming on and expressing to the viewers what you've been doing and the seva you do behind the scenes. So we really appreciate that. Thank you all to the Sangat for tuning in and listening. And to another great show. We'll tune in and see you next time. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.